Hello friends, and welcome to the weekly moon update. In these videos, we talk about the moon energy for the current week, as well as a little bit of astrology. And we've got a little bit of astrology to talk about this week. We are technically having our last quarter moon, which is happening right at the beginning of the week. So this whole week is just going to be a decrease of light, a decrease of energy, so that we can start slowing down and getting ready for not only the new moon, but also our first solar eclipse of 2026 next week. Venus is changing signs this week, and Saturn is changing signs this week. So we've got a lot to talk about. So let's jump into it. So our last quarter moon is happening right at the beginning of the week on Monday. So the rest of the week will be a waning crescent moon. It's just going to slowly get darker and darker until our new moon next week. Also happening this week, Venus is moving into Pisces. Mercury moved into Pisces last week, and I talked about how beautiful and romantic and poetic that is. But Venus in Pisces is also very, very dreamy, romantic, and poetic. So we're kind of walking into this week feeling like we have little hearts floating above our head, especially as we're making our way to Valentine's Day at the end of the week also. So we've got like really light-hearted kind of energy this week, and man, does it feel different than the energy of last week. Last week felt so crazy and volatile. This week feels a little bit more subdued. However, we do have, I think we will feel this shift. Uranus went direct last week. Saturn went direct November 27th in Pisces. Like, it retrograded back into Pisces, and now it's moving into Aries officially. This also happened in 2025. We dipped our toe into the Saturn and Aries energy. It retrograded back into Pisces, and now we are officially moving into Saturn and Aries. So for those of you having your Saturn return, you kind of had a little bit of a reprieve, and now we're continuing with the Saturn and Aries. Something about it feels very like definitive, though. I guess maybe because we know we're not going to retrograde back into Pisces again. Saturn and Aries feels very cut and dry. Like, this is my boundary. If you don't like it, you can burn up in those flames. That's what it feels like to me. I think combined with the Neptune and Aries, Saturn and Aries, like, we've got this warrior energy that, like, we're moving forward. We're heading down that road. We're going down this path. We're going through this spiritual transformation. It just is what it is. We're burning away everything that we're leaving behind, and we're going to create something new in the future. So there's just something very definitive about this. I mean, Saturn energy is definitive anyways. Is kind of like, I don't know, I guess you just know where you stand with someone with Saturn and Aries. You're either with me or if you're not with me, let's go. However, we are starting off the week a little bit slow. I don't know. This might be kind of like a dreamy week. Scorpio's very intuitive. Scorpio's another water sign. We've got Venus moving into Pisces. So we've got a lot of water energy starting off the beginning of the week. And maybe you just need to have a floaty, dreamy, spacey, heart of fluttering, little hearts. I'm just seeing, like, what's the emoji with, like, the there's, like, you know, hearts just rising from the smiley face, the blushy smiley face, and it's just like, isn't everything so romantic? That's kind of, I feel like, how we're heading into this week. Scorpio might be a little bit grumpy about that. Scorpio wants like really like dark and intense romantic relationships. Like they need to like get down into the like those deep, heavy emotions. Like that's romantic for Scorpio. It's just like having those really deep conversations, like heart-wrenching conversations. So this is the last quarter Scorpio moon. I talked a little bit about it in last week's video of how it means it's been, whenever we pass the quarter moon, it means it's been a quarter of a year since Scorpio season, since Halloween time. And so this kind of, especially for Scorpio suns, this is a nice little check-in point, a quarterly check-in point for you to see like where you're going. You also might be like having more energy now and like you're ready to move forward with things. So any quarter moon is a nice check-in for that sun sign. And we'll be in Scorpio energy all day Monday. But then we're going to be starting fresh with Sagittarius energy on Tuesday, starting at 2:22 a.m. And we're really going to be feeling the Sagittarius energy for all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, and the beginning half of Thursday as well. So we're really feeling that like 2.5 days. So Sagittarius energy can help us get out of the dark Scorpio energy and get excited again, like feeling, okay, so we processed that. Let's move on. Let's do something new. And really, I think, I don't know, I can't really put my finger on why this is, but there's this like, maybe it's because all of the planets, like Saturn is officially moving into Aries, Neptune's officially in Aries, Uranus went direct. So we're officially out of that retrograde-a-palooza that was kind of elongated last year. So I don't know, there's something about this like awakening that I don't know, it feels like we've taken the time to integrate things. We've taken the time to rest and heal and hibernate. And we have taken the time to witness everything that's happening around us and definitively say, like, this isn't right. This isn't the world that I want to live in. And really kind of owning and embodying the spiritual warrior, like wanting to be the change that you want to see in the world. So there's just something about this week that just feels like, I don't want to say triumphant is coming to mind, but that's like as if we've already accomplished it. So maybe we're in that energy of like, no, we're going to change this. We're going to evolve. We are going to grow. We have healed and now we're going. There we go. Get on your spiritual armor. So Sagittarius just has that, okay, let's pack our bags. Let's get on the horse. Let's trollop. Trollop? I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so Sagittarius energy. This feels like a nice forward movement. Maybe those last minute things that you need to do. Start moving when the moon moves into Capricorn. This is a time to like delegate things. Like this is like Sagittarius use this last burst of fire energy to do all those little things that you can get done now, and then use the Capricorn moon day to relocate. Like, I need to move this to next week for after the new moon, or I need to change this deadline, or I need to move my schedule around. Capricorn just has like helps us like do the practical things, but like Capricorn knows like, hey, we don't have the energy, time, or resources for this right now. Let's move it to something else. So kind of closing out the week with that, like, hey, the new moon's coming up. We're gonna be low on energy. Maybe we should move that meeting that we had on Monday to like next Monday or something like that. You know, that kind of energy. And we'll be in Capricorn energy for the end of Thursday from 2:45 p.m. on, all day Friday, and almost all day Saturday too, because the moon will start to transition at 8:31 Saturday night. And we'll start off Sunday and have an all-day Sunday be weird day. Yeah, I think it's just like a combination of all the different things, but this week just has this energy of like, ride or die. You're with me or you're not with me. Let's go. So let's see what our oracle messages are can give us insight into why this is. So our card is coming from the Priestess of Light Oracle. It's by Sandra Ann Taylor and Kimberly Weber. And we have touching earth, planting something new. The law of cause and effect is always at work in your life. And this card is telling you to bring a greater consciousness to the casual seeds you are planting in your energetic field. The angel of the rainbow is sending a full spectrum of light and color to nourish your highest intentions and help them grow. And you can use her assistance to cultivate the destiny that you desire. It is time to consider the garden of your dreams and take action that will produce beautiful blossoms and a bountiful harvest. Is there a new project that you have yet to begin? An image or an idea just forming in your mind? These seeds of inspiration are blessings from the universe, and you are the gardener being called to bring them to fruition. On a practical level, this card could indicate some new or increasing activity in the natural world. You may be creating an actual garden for yourself, a place where you can draw on the peaceful energy of the earth, or you may even consider opening a flower shop or pursuing a career in a field related to agriculture, horticulture, or the like. You might also find yourself volunteering to clean up the environment, plant trees, or to help Mother Earth in some way. Always remember to plant the seeds of optimism, self-love, and belief in every goal, in every area of your life, for out of that energetic garden grows expanding joy. The affirmation for this card is, I plant the seeds of my future in every present moment. I nourish my destiny with actions and joyous expectations. So this card very much kind of has Piscean energy, and like we're moving into Pisces season next week. And I always see Pisces season. In New England, we called it mud season because all of the snow is beginning to melt and the ground is thawing and there's all this water everywhere. And that is what nourishes the seeds as they kind of thaw out too and are getting ready to grow for Aries season, the following season. So I don't know, it feels like this vibration is like shifting. There's more hope on the horizon. It kind of, and Pisces is very hopeful. And I feel like there's something to look forward to, like something changing, something like finally, maybe it's that like the collective consciousness is finally coming into alignment with each other, and now we're motivated and inspired to make a change. And we're also seeing like very like angelic energy here. So our chakra card is Soul Star Chakra, Divine Service. The divine light and emanating love of the divine rises within you now, and you are a glowing beacon of hope for others. Focus your attention and intention on being of spiritual service to others. Ask those around you how they are doing, and listen closely and compassionately to their response. If you have soul gifts that you are aware of in this lifetime, use them consciously to assist others as you are called. Make time to be of service to the divine. So again, this is a soul star chakra located a foot above your head. The crystal they recommend is morganite, which is a very deep healing, heart healing stone. And the herb they recommend is white lotus. So see, there is something like hopeful about this week. There is something hopeful about this week. And last but not least, we have our crystal for this week, angelite, a stone of compassion, peace, and calm. It facilitates clear celestial communication, attracts angelic presence, and acts as an anchor for angelic guides. Angelite is a throat chakra stone that encourages self-expression, compassion, and calms the nervous system. The affirmation is, I am open to receiving the knowledge of my angels and guides. So there is this like very hopeful and angelic presence to this week. And I think that I'm filming this in advance, but as far as I know, the Walk for Peace is supposed to get to Washington D.C. around the 15th. I think their projected date was the 14th maybe. But that changes every day because they're walking and they're scheduled. Their schedule is very flexible. So I'm wondering if this movement of peace, I mean, we've got peace and compassion, we've got compassion and peace and calm, we've got these angels and this light and this rainbow energy, and we've got hope, service. We've just and I wanted to pick an extra love card for Valentine's Day. I wonder if I hope that this Walk for Peace movement like really does make a shift and a change, and like reverberates out and into the rest of the country, because I'm seeing it change. A healing card. Looks like two people healing each other. So that's kind of interesting that we have this divine service card here. But I'm seeing the rippling effect here in the southeast as the monks are making their way through. So I really do hope that when they reach DC, that it is rippling out into the rest of the country too, and hopefully the rest of the world, especially since like every person that I've talked to, when I say Walk for Peace, like it's all over my local news, but whenever I say Walk for Peace, like nobody knows what I'm talking about. And I'm like, how are you missing this? they're walking like barefoot in the cold in the winter. Like, how are you missing this? Because it's all I see all over my feed and everything. So like when I talk to people in other parts of the world and they're like, no, I haven't heard of it. Like, why is the news not covering this? Like, this is a really big movement happening. So our heart card for this week is healing. Imagine yourself and your beloved surrounded by light. Feel your relationship being healed this very moment. And that was one of the things that in one of the talks that the monks did at their rest locations, was saying that like if we can't have peace amongst our family, then we will never have world peace. And that's very true. Like everything I know we all feel very overwhelmed with the things that are going on in the world, and because I think most of us do want to help, and most of us like just it's very overwhelming not knowing what to do. But every little thing that you do in your life that creates more peace and creates more compassion and creates more togetherness does ripple out into the rest of the world. And it has to start with us. If you're not at peace with yourself, then how do you expect the other people in your life to be peaceful? Like, everything starts with us. If we have to make the change first, and then we can then help others to find that same peace and calm, and to share your story of how you overcame your obstacles or how you healed or how we want to relate to each other. So I think it is important that we share our stories and we share our journeys. And I really am taking to heart the message that the monks are giving, and that's to wake up every morning and to say to yourself, or write on a piece of paper or stick a post-it note on your mirror that says, today is my peaceful day. And then every day you have will be peaceful. It starts with us. We can be the change that we want to see in the world. So thank you so much for being here today. I hope that you are able to find peace and love and compassion with yourself, for yourself, forgiveness and hope for yourself and for those that you love. I hope that you have somebody that you can hold close this Valentine's Day. And while we're in this Venus and Pisces romantic kind of feeling, even if that is giving yourself a hug and taking care of yourself, because again, it does start with you. It always starts with you. It always starts with me. So hug yourself, love yourself, whether you have a partner or not. And I really do appreciate you being here. Please leave a heart in the comments, a red heart in the comments, so that I know you watched this whole video all the way through. I really appreciate you being here. I cannot wait to see you on the other side of the looking glass again sometime soon.